This meeting of the Syracuse Planning Commission. Just by way of observation, it's a rare meeting when the commission members outnumber the public. So thanks for coming out tonight on a rainy night. We don't have a very long agenda, but we'll get to it very quickly in just a moment after we take care of some housekeeping business, namely the adoption of our minutes from the last meeting. Is there a motion for approval of those minutes?
To approve the minutes with two corrections under item number 4, and I believe item number 8. It refers to Terry Luckett representing the Syracuse Landmark Preservation Board. I believe she was representing the land bank.
Okay, thank you. Correction noted. Is there a second?
Second.
Discussion? All in favor of the minutes as amended, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Our minutes are approved, and we will move directly into our public hearings for this evening. Just by way of process for those unfamiliar with our hearing procedure, as each application is announced from the podium, we will ask the applicant or the representative to come forward to the podium, provide their name and address for the record, and then a brief summary of the application. Following any questions from the commission members, we will extend an opportunity to the members of the public to comment in favor of the application, and likewise an opportunity for those who wish to speak in opposition to the application. Where comments are made in opposition, we will afford the applicant an opportunity to address those comments made in opposition. So with that, could we begin with our first application, please?
Good evening, Commission members. Mr. Kulik, the first public hearing is a continuation from April 30th. This is SR 0206 M3. This is a site plan review for an antenna to install 3 new 2500 MIMO antennas at 2306 South Salina Street. The People's African Methodist Episcopal Zion Church is the owner. Kyle Richards of Sprint is representing the applicant, and it lies within a residential class AA zoning district. The Preservation Board did make comments, and we have received new plans.
Thank you. The applicant is here. Please come forward and provide your name and address, and then a summary of the proposal.
All right. Good evening. My name's Kyle Richards. I was here on the April 30th hearing a couple weeks back, basically to speak to our application for the existing Sprint site that's at the People's Church on 2306 South Salina Street. I guess just to briefly go over our proposal again, the proposal is to add 3 new antennas to the existing site. And we've obviously fielded some comments from the Planning Commission hearing as well as the landmark hearing that took place that same week. And I guess I'd like to go over kind of each one and sort of see what we've done to address those comments. So the first comment was that the antennas should be painted to match the steeple, I think we're calling it, or the penthouse of the church. And so a note has been added, proposed and existing antennas to be painted to match existing brick color. That's on page 1. They currently are painted a certain orangey color, the existing, but the proposal now, or the plans now would be to find a color that better matches the bricking that's there, just so the existing and proposed antennas will just blend in with the church a lot better than they do now. Another comment was, it was pointed out that this only applied to, there's 3 sectors on the site, so to speak, and that's what the industry calls them, at least, which in this case just refers to the 3 sides of the steeple that they're on. So you got the 2 sides of the steeple and the back of the steeple, which isn't visible from the street, from the front of the street. It was pointed out by the commission, I believe, last 2 weeks ago, that one of the proposed antennas was going to be facing closer to the street view. So it was proposed that we basically switch where we're having that to put the new antenna behind the existing. So obviously it would be a little more hidden from the street, people looking up at the street level. On the other side, that was already the case, so that should be fine there. In the back doesn't seem to be much of a concern. There was another comment from Mr. Harrop regarding the cabling for the beta sector, which is, if you're facing the street, would be on the left. There's some cabling that's sort of exposed from the existing antenna, and we typically use what they call cable trays. It's just basically hides the various cables that come from the antenna. In this case, that side doesn't really have a cable tray extending, that far up the steeple, up the steeple wall. So I indicated that or responded to his comment saying that we can basically extend the length of the cable tray to essentially reach the bottom of the antennas, so those can be, so you essentially won't be able to see the cabling hidden, right? And those cable trays are painted. Currently, they're painted basically the same color as the antennas that are existing, which are sort of the orangey. But the initiative would be to just paint them the same color we've chosen for, or the new color we've chosen for the existing and new antennas. And then Mr. Harrop also had a comment, or the commission also had a comment about the, at least on one of the pages of the drawings, the antennas appear to be extending higher than the top of the steeple penthouse. We're just going to have the drawings revised to, show that they're at the top of the penthouse or below, and there should be a note on there saying basically the top of the antenna, so then it can show that it's matching up with the height of the top of the height of the penthouse, and that should alleviate any concerns about the antennas extending above the penthouse. We've gotten verification from our engineer who designed the drawings and designed the modification that these do not extend above the penthouse, and the new antennas are smaller than the existing, so that should not be a concern, or that won't be a concern. That really sums it up as far as the comments we've received and our actions to alleviate the concerns of the commission and the landmark board.
Great, that sounds very, thanks for responding to those comments all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
Very appreciative. So let's pause for a minute, see if there are any questions from the commission members.
Yes, sorry. So on this space, this is where you're going to cover the cables with a cable cover? Right here?
Yeah, that's the one.
Yeah, if I do this, it just flips and I don't know what
Yeah.
so, okay. And there'll be new cables going to that location because you're going to hook it up to, is this
Right.
where you're going to put the other one behind it?
Yeah, it's going to be behind it, so there will be a cable tray extending right up there as well.
Okay, so when you put the cover on, where's the other one? I mean, you got this kind of funky stuff going on, but this is more or less horizontal. So that should be your aim here as well.
Right, it would be pretty much at the same,
Right, so-
as close to the antenna as possible.
Right, but it sort of swoops here. So if you put the cable cover on, it's gonna look like that. It's gonna draw more attention to it. So if you could so if the wires are fastened into the masonry as vertical as possible and then put the cover on, it's gonna look vertical as opposed to a whole bunch of angles.
Yeah.
It'll make it less visible. Okay?
Yeah, that's
All right,
fair.
so as long as that's noted on your
Yeah.
installation drawings, I think that would be fine. You all see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you want to rather comment, or write that, put that in writing so I know exactly?
Yep, I think
don't
staff,
wanna just-
staff will do
I
that,
don't wanna
correct?
misconstrue exactly what you're saying, so yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
Would you understand the intent, and we'll get some,
yeah, I think
we'll
so.
get some language in the resolution.
You guys understand what I'm saying? Okay,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah, that shouldn't be a problem.
okay, great. That's all I had.
All right.
Questions? Good. Thank you very much. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come to the podium and share your comments. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward. So we have no other speakers. We'll declare the hearing closed. Move to our next hearing.
Okay, thank you.
Next public hearing is R1926. This is a re-subdivision to combine two properties into one new lot at 413 and 415 Cherry Street. Blake Probst and the Greater Syracuse Property Development Corporation are the property owners, and both properties lie within a residential Class A zoning district.
Thank you. Good evening. You're here for this application, right? Yes. Okay, great.
Hi, my name's Caitlin Wright. I'm with the Greater Syracuse Land Bank located at 431 East Fayette Street. We're selling this side lot to Mr. Probst, and he's making some modifications to the property in order to comply with the zoning code. It looks like he is removing some of the, oh, this is not the, I apologize. The map that was emailed to me is not the Cherry Street map. Are there specific questions or concerns that I can speak to?
Can you clarify if Mr. Probst will be living in 415?
That is a good question. I believe he is an owner occupant, but I would have to double check on that for you.
Questions?
Do you have that information, Jeff?
Terry did confirm that. Otherwise, it would need a certificate of suitability if it's non-owner occupied. That's
Gotcha.
the reason for the question.
Sorry about that.
But Terry did confirm that with our office. We initially asked, so
Thank you, guys.
if at any time it is sold to a non-owner occupant,
They would need to
Mr.
get
Probst should apply for a certificate of suitability as owner, and the purchase contractor can be on the application.
Gotcha.
Okay, thank you very much. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come forward to do so. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward. Okay, we'll declare this hearing closed and move to our next hearing.
Next public hearing is R1931. This is also a re-subdivision, and this is to combine two properties into one new lot at 2421 to 2423 and 2425 to 2429 East Fayette Street. Peter Lewison and Judy Gordon Lewison and the Greater Syracuse Property Development Corporation are the owners and applicants, and these properties also lie within a residential Class A zoning district.
My name is Taisha Martin. I'm with NIDA. Here to speak on behalf of 2421 East Fayette.
Could you pull the microphone down a little bit? It'll adjust so that it's closer to you, please.
And can you just repeat your name? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
Taisha, last name Martin. Thank you, Jeff.
You have to get uncomfortably close to it.
Okay. Better? All right. East Fayette Street was acquired by the Land Bank in September of 2018. The lot is buildable and measures 33 feet by 132 feet. The parcel is proposed to be re-subdivided with its adjacent neighbor at 2429 East Fayette Street. Peter and Judy Lewison are the owner occupants in single-family home at 2429 East Fayette Street. They intend to combine the vacant parcel with the occupied parcel, increasing its property value. And the re-subdivision will provide more defensible space and improve the neighborhood with landscaping and a fence. Any questions?
Are there questions for the applicant? I think we're all set. Thank you very much. Are there individuals who would like to speak in favor of this application? If so, please come forward. Anyone wishing to speak in opposition to the application, please come forward. So we'll declare this hearing closed. And after that exhaustive list of public hearings, we will return to the top of our list and consider action on each one of the hearings we held tonight. So that brings us to the continuation hearing from last time, the antenna installation project SR-02-06M3 on South Salina Street. Is there a motion on this application?
Move to approve of the negative declaration as long as the Landmark Preservation Board's comments are made and my comments earlier about the cable coverings.
Second.
Second. Further discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? That application is approved. Taking us to the first re-subdivision hearing for tonight, R-19-26, the project in the 400 block of Cherry Street. Is there a motion on this?
I move approval with a negative declaration.
Second?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? That re-subdivision is approved. And we are now considering R-19-31, the East Fayette Street re-subdivision, 2400 block. Is there a motion on this re-subdivision application?
Move approval with a negative declaration.
Second?
Second?
Discussion? All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? That exhausts our list of applications for tonight. We have authorizations for our next meeting, which will be held the 3rd of June. It looks like a half dozen applications. Nothing additional to add to that list as of now. So we'll go with the half dozen listed. Is there a motion to authorize these hearings for June 3rd?
I move we authorize the 6 hearings for the June 3rd.
Second.
Second. Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Any abstentions? Those are all authorized for June 3rd. Is there any other business to come before the commission tonight? Wow. Is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
Discussion? All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. Oh, my goodness.